what's up everybody, this is Junior Chicken here, and for this countdown, I'm giving you my top 10 favorite Pokemon attacks. Now attacks in the Pokemon games do play a bit of a part in defining the Pokemon in the games. Whether it's Gengar's Shadow Ball, Metagross's Meteor Mash, Heracross's Mega Horn, or Sceptile's Leaf Blade. They all give the Pokemon a bit of personality and define what they can do. Now these attacks aren't necessarily the most powerful attacks, but they're ones that I'll usually have in my Pokemon whenever I can. Just a few things to keep in mind. Certain attacks may share a particular spot if they have similar attributes that I find appealing. And I will not be including any legendary Pokemon attacks that are exclusive. So as cool as Shadow Force or Judgment may be, they're only limited to one Pokemon, and these moves on this list are much more diverse than that. I'm well aware that Jaywitz also made a top 10 on his favorite Pokemon moves, but my list is much different from his. So, let's get to it. Top 10 favorite Pokemon attacks.
10!
Kicking off the list is Close Combat, a move that I've become pretty familiar with through my journeys in Platinum. In Japan, this move is known as Infight. It has 120 base power and 100% accuracy, making it a very reliable move to use, that you can use to clear through weak Pokemon or sweep through entire teams if you have a very fast sweeper on your team like Infernape. Besides the number of fighting Pokemon that can learn this move naturally, it can also be learned naturally by Staraptors, Zangooses, and strangely enough, Xerneases. It also has some pretty interesting breeding options. The two factors though that keep it at the bottom of the list are its side effects and its PPs. With only 5 power points, you can't use this move too often in game. And since it lowers your defense and special defense every time you land a hit with Close Combat, you may make yourself pretty vulnerable in important matches. But still, I consider this like a boxing move as you come close and personal with your enemies and land a ton of hits on them while making yourself vulnerable in the process, which makes this a cool move nonetheless.
9!
Dynamic Punch and Zap Cannon, or Exploding Punch and Electromagnetic Cannon, as they're known in Japan. Both these moves were introduced in Generation 2 as TMs. They both have 50% accuracy, which is pretty bad, and only 5 PPs. But that's because these attacks have deadly side effects. Dynamic Punch is a physical fighting type attack with 100 base power, and it causes instant confusion on the target. Where Zap Cannon is a special electric type move with 120 base power, and it causes instant paralysis. While Dynamic Punch cannot be learned by that many Pokemon naturally, only a few fighting types in Galar, it was a move tutor in Emerald, and it has some breeding options. Zap Cannon doesn't have breeding options, but it can be learned by quite a few electric Pokemon and steel Pokemon, as well as the Porygon line and the Regis. However, because of the 50% accuracy, you won't really be able to use these moves reliably, unless you have a move slot with Mind Reader or Lock On, or you have a no guarding Machamp, which I have. Still, these moves are fun to use purely on how much you can screw up your opponents, either by slowing them down or causing them to hurt themselves.
Oh no! It attacked itself!
8! Ancient Power, otherwise known as Primeval Power, or as my buddy Matt likes to call it, as I've said before, Ancient Power is such a great move. It's fairly popular amongst fossil Pokemon and legendaries. But it's not just limited to those guys. It's not even limited to rock-type Pokemon, as it can be learned as a move tutor in Generation 4 and has quite a few breeding options on top of the Pokemon that can learn it naturally. It's a special rock-type move, making it pretty unique. With 60 base power, it is decent, and 100% accuracy makes it pretty reliable. But the real kicker is that you have a 10% chance of increasing your defensive stats, attack stats, and your speed, all in one turn. That's what makes this such a great move to use. And if your Pokemon has Serene Grace, you have an even better chance of increasing your stats. Sure, there's also Ominous Wind and Silver Wind that were introduced in Generation 4, but since this is the original, I like it the most.
7.
Giga Drain and Drain Punch. One thing I like about grass types is their healing properties. They have moves like Synthesis and Ingrain that allow them to recover health. But their Absorb line of attacks is what really sells them. Absorb is pretty weak with 20 base power. Then you get Mega Drain, which has 40 base power, that's still pretty weak. But then you get to Giga Drain with 60 base power, which is alright. Its 100% accuracy makes it a reliable move to use, and half the damage you inflict on your opponent comes back to you to heal you up. That's great. Plus, it got a PP buff in Generation 3 to go up to 10 PPs instead of 5, and in Generation 4, its power got buffed to 75 base power. So this is still a great move to use. There's a ton of grass types that can learn it through breeding and naturally. There's also a TM in Generations 2 to 4 and Move Tutor in Generation 5. But this move also has to share a slot with another healing move, Drain Punch. While Giga Drain is a special grass type move, Drain Punch is a physical fighting type move that allows you to heal half the damage inflicted on your opponent. It also had a 60 base power and 5 PPs, but Generation 5 increased both of those to a 75 base power and 10 PPs, making it a better move to use. Unfortunately, the breeding options are pretty shallow, and the only Pokemon that can learn this naturally are Mienfoo and Seismitoad. Thankfully, you can learn this through a TM in Generation 4 and Move Tutor in Generation 5. Both these moves are great because you can heal your health, which is always good in battle, especially if you got a tanky Pokemon that's hard to take down. As for Pokemon with the Liquid Ooze ability, basically Tentacruel or Swalot, they're both poison types, so you really wouldn't want to use grass or fighting type moves on them anyways.
6.
Earthquake and Magnitude. I seriously could not find any good footage of Magnitude attacks, so you're just going to have to watch Earthquake. But I'll explain why both these attacks share the spot. They're both physical ground type attacks with 100% accuracy. They hit all adjacent Pokemon except those in a lifted state, and they punish Pokemon for using the Dig attack. Earthquake has 100 base power and 10 PPs, making it a reliable, powerful move, but you can't use it too often. Magnitude, on the other hand, has 30 PPs, meaning you can use it a lot more often. But it has a varying base power, making it a bit of a game of chance. Most of the time you'll land for 70 base power, which is alright, but it can vary from 10 to 150 in base power. Magnitude can be learned by quite a few ground-type Pokemon naturally, and it has some interesting breeding options, whereas Earthquake can be learned by a ton of ground Pokemon naturally. It can be bred to Torkoal, and has pretty much been a TM in every generation. Any competitive team pretty much has this move. But I'll take both any day of the week because of how cool they are.
5.
Crunch. This physical dark type move is my favorite amongst the jaw attacks. With 80 base power, 100% accuracy, 15 PPs, and a chance to lower your opponent's defense stat. Pretty much any Pokemon with a strong set of jaws and teeth can use this deadly attack. It's got some crazy breeding options too, including Teddy Ursa, Trico, and Riolu. Plus, this doesn't make the Pokemon flinch if they're slower than you. That's something I don't like about the other jaw moves. And with Crunch, if you lower your opponent's defense stat, you make them weaker to physical attacks, which is great for you. And look at this animation, man. You're not just biting down on them, you're gnawing on them. You're really showing them some pain. I've got a physical dark type on my team. You better be ready, because it's crunch time!
It hits. 4.
The signature starter moves. In Generation 4, Game Freak decided to reward you for your loyalty towards your starter Pokemon. If your starter Pokemon had max happiness at the end of the game, you can take them to a special move tutor to have them learn their own typing equivalent to Hyper Beam, giving them a stat bonus of 225 power with 90% accuracy and 5 PPs. If you got a Blastoise, for Alligator, Swampert, or Empoleon, you can teach them Hydro Cannon, shooting tons of water at your opponents. If you have a Venusaur, Meganium, Sceptile, or Torterra, you can teach them Frenzy Plant, where you just tear up your foes with a giant frickin' tree. And if you have a Charizard, Typhlosion, Blaziken, or Infernape, you can teach them Blast Burn, where you torch your enemies in a big ball of flames. These moves are deadly. Even though you have to wait in the next turn, you're pretty much going to kill anything that stands in your path. I currently have Blast Burn on my Infernape, and it's probably the most deadliest thing. The only downside that I can see is that these moves are special, meaning that physical attacking Pokemon like Torterra and Swampert may not get the best usage out of these moves, but still, these attacks prove why your starter Pokemon are so awesome, and why Tamashii was wrong for saying they were so overrated.
3.
Dragon Pulse. While some Dragon moves were recategorized as physical to better suit the dragons at the time, we still got some pretty good special Dragon attacks, including Dragon Pulse. This was a move tutor in Generation 5 and a TM in Generation 4, and can be learned by quite a few dragons and Pokemon that can become dragons, the only exceptions at the time being Lucario and Clawitzer. It's got 85 base power, 100% accuracy, and 10 power points. It may not be as powerful as Draco Meteor, but you don't have to worry about your special attack dropping every time you use it. So yeah, I prefer this move. The only thing that I cannot put any higher for is the fact that as a dragon move, it only is really super effective against dragons.
2.
Dark Pulse, or Evil Pulse as it's known in Japan. This was a TM in Generation 4, then a move tutor in Generation 5, and they brought it back as a TM in X and Y. With 80 base power, 15 power points, 100% accuracy, it even has a chance to make your opponents flinch. Usually I hate that because it doesn't make any sense with any other moves, but here it makes a whole lot of sense. You're letting all your dark thoughts and anger out on these people. There are quite a few Dark-type Pokemon that can learn this move naturally, as well as Lucarios, Landorus's, Tornaduses, Clawitzers, and Gengar! Gengar!
1.
As you've probably seen, many of these moves on this list have something special that make them stand out when it comes to battling. So what does this last move have? Is it a speed priority move like Sucker Punch or Fake Out?
Nope.
How about a move that hits your adjacent enemies?
Nope.
What about a gimmicky move like Hidden Power?
Nope.
Give up? It's an infinite accuracy move. With these attacks, you never have to worry about missing, regardless of the number of sand attacks or double teams your opponents use. Feint Attack, Aerial Ace, Magnet Bomb, Shadow Punch, Shockwave, Magical Leaf, Trump Card, Swift, and number 1... Aura Sphere. My favorite attack, a special fighting type attack. Despite having its base power lowered down from 90 to 80 in Generation 6, it's still the most powerful infinite accuracy move out there. And it still has 20 PPs, meaning you can use this move a lot. And look at the Pokemon that can learn this move. We got Mewtwo, Mew, Lucario, Togekiss, Meowscarada, Clawitzer, Dialga, Palkia, frickin' Giratina! It's unbelievable! Plus its Japanese name is Wave Bomb. Case closed.
Rappers are hungry, looking at me like it's crunch time.